Welcome back, everybody. It's Mr. Morfetto, and today we will be concluding our review on the Sabaody Archipelago arc, my part 2 review, chapters 501 to 513. These 12 chapters, I have to say, are some of the most impactful chapters I have read in this series so far. This arc, in general, is absolutely fantastic. It's not one of the longest arcs. It's a transitional arc, but it's filled, especially this second half, filled with information that I did not have before, and I'm probably going to miss something reviewing this because of how much stuff is thrown at you in this second half. I'll be honest with you, after the first half, I assumed we would be having some sort of a mini boss fight with the celestial dragons, those asshole rich people that use humans and fish people as slaves, like ride them like horses and shit. I thought that we were going to end up having to fight them kind of like, I don't know. I kind of thought that it was going to be like the Davy Back fight with the Foxy Pirates. Some fight with an enemy that isn't really strong, but maybe they would use, evil, bullshit abilities so they could compete with the Straw Hats, or use, I don't know. I'm not sure. Kind of like the slow beam in the Foxy Pirates that he used, so he was able to compete with Luffy, but by no chance could he ever really win. And I figured that we were just going to get the opportunity to see the Straw Hats whip some ass, and then maybe learn some stuff from Rayleigh. I'm still learning the guy's name. The old guy. Learn some stuff about hockey from that guy. That's what I assumed the second half was going to be. Boy, was I kind of wrong there. It sort of involved fighting the celestial dragons. Let's just kick this off here. Chapter 501 kicks off with Luffy's grandpa talking to some Marines. Talking about Luffy, talking about him being a menace to society and whatnot. They get back to the auction where they're going to auction off the mermaid lady, Cammy, and we want to save her. And I believe the crew is going to try and buy her with all the treasure they got from Thriller Bark. But in the end, they can't because there's a celestial dragon, the one that has the snot that comes out of his nose. I can't remember his name currently. It was like, God, what was it? I don't know. I hate him. Whoever it is. Wasn't like Jose or something weird. But this dude wants the mermaid very badly, and he raises the price so high that even the Straw Hats can't buy Cammy back, buy her freedom. And they don't want to end up in a scuffle with the celestial dragons because it will call in an admiral from the Navy to whip their asses. They'll basically, even though the Straw Hats are already enemies to the government, I guess there really isn't much of a punishment at this point for Luffy. He's already destroyed Enies Lobby. He's already a wanted man who will be executed if he is captured. And I'm assuming most of his crew, unless they decide to turn on him and, give him up, will also be executed if they get captured. They really have nothing to lose here, so I guess they should just start beating some celestial dragon ass. We get to see a little bit more about Drake, this guy with a little X on his chin. We get to see some more about who I think we learn used to be part of the Marines. This Drake guy. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he used, from certain words I heard certain characters say in this chapter, in a few chapters in this part of the arc, Drake used to be a Marine, but turned because the Marines are a bunch of assholes. We also get to see some more Law and Kid fighting action, which is cool. We get to learn that they also have devil fruit abilities. Duval is involved in helping the Straw Hat crew, the dude that used to look like Sanji from his wanted poster. Yeah, okay, so chapter 502 kicks off with our boy, not our boy, but Carlos, I believe his name is, Celestial Dragon Carlos, showing up, kicking his human horse and saying, "You're too slow." Well, you're too fat, sir, for riding a human across on his hands and knees. You are a terrible person, and I really do not like this guy. Picking his nose, piece of shit. I think someone in the comments had told me that the Celestial Dragons are like ancestors of like the 24 kings or something that formed this government that they all follow now. Some shit like that. The auction kicks off with this guy named La Cuba. The pirate captain was notorious clever trickster. His bounty is 17 million. He's well built. You can use him as a human horse or for work that requires strength or as a sandbag. This pretty basic looking pirate man here with a collar on him, he was being auctioned off early in the auction, and he bites his own tongue off, basically to bleed to death. Dark as shit. This is probably the darkest part of One Piece that I can truly remember. This and the human horses thing is pretty damn dark. This whole arc is dark, people. He bites his tongue off, and I think they try to say that he doesn't die. Maybe it's just the translation here, or they're just saying that so that the people that are actually participating in the auction don't get freaked out. They say that he's just incapacitated, but I would say that he probably bled to death, and that's insane for this series, because death does not come easy here. These characters are very durable in One Piece, and this guy did not want to be a human slave, and I can understand that. So he committed suicide in this manga, this anime. This dude bit his tongue off. That's insane. I'm curious if they edited this part out in the anime version. I haven't got there yet in the anime version, but I can't imagine they're going to mention that he committed suicide and bit his own tongue off. That will be an interesting thing to see. Kind of like how they edited out Sanji's mentor from the Baratier cutting off his leg and eating it. They did it differently in the anime, which can ruin some things. Either way, we get to Cammy, the final part of the auction, I believe. Everybody wants her. It's hard to see an actual mermaid for sale. Young mermaid for sale. They're hard to catch. They're the fastest fish thing in the sea. Fastest thing in the sea. And they got one. And this damn Carlos Celestial Dragon bids 500 million berries, more than our Straw Hats have that can even compete with that kind of cash, that kind of dough. This other Celestial Dragon, I believe to be Carlos's father, says, "You're wasting your money again. Your aquarium already has piranhas in it." Well, they can play tag together. That's insane. This dude's a piece of shit, man. Quickly, shit starts to dissolve. Luffy shows up, Zoro shows up. They're not messing around. They are here to kick some ass. They are not worried about the Celestial Dragons. They aren't worried about no Admiral. We've met an Admiral before, and I think his name was Okiji, and he kicked their ass, actually. But they've taken on a couple warlords and survived, so I'm assuming whether Luffy did or not take on any warlords, he would not back down when a friend's in need. Luffy's trying to stop this auction from happening. Well, the auction for Cammy already happened. Carlos bought her. And before he could even save her, as he's being held back by some people who work for the auction, I believe, Hachan gets shot by Carlos with a pistol. They shoot him. They show him bleeding out on the steps. And it is insanely brutal. I would be honestly surprised if they don't edit this as well in the anime. It looks like he's dead. They even say here, I got him. I killed the fish man. The people in the crowd realize that Hachan's a fishman. They treat him like trash. They call him disgusting. They say, keep him away. I don't want to get his fishman germs and whatnot. It's insanely racist. And it's so dark. And I love this because it's so deep story-wise, and it's such a sad thing that happened to Hachan. Sadly, he quickly, within the next few pages, is revealed to still be alive. I mean, he is a fishman, so he's probably pretty durable, and I do believe he could survive. He's losing a lot of blood here. But he is part octopus, so I'm assuming he's very durable, like I said. I do feel like if they had let him be murdered right here, right now, by this celestial dragon, it would have been such a shock to this series. Could you imagine a character that used to be the Straw Hats' enemy way back when, who just recently joined up with the crew temporarily to help them get to Fishman Island, gets killed halfway through the arc he got reintroduced in a very racist, terrible way by a terrible person, would so establish these celestial dragons as pieces of shit, especially Carlos. And it would have been insane. And personally, I would preferred it. I really like Hachan, and I think that he would be a cool member of the Straw Hats if he ever joined the Straw Hat crew. And I still run by my statement that a fishman would be dope on the crew, especially since the crew is has about half of their members have devil fruit ability, so they can't swim. It'd probably be good to have somebody who specializes in underwater battle, but that's just me. Either way, Hachan survives, and I like I said, I think that it would have been crazy if he died. I think it would have changed a lot. It would have changed the atmosphere, you know. They would have had a crazy funeral for him, I'm sure. It would have been nuts. Either way, Luffy gets pissed off, even though Hachan's saying, don't cause any trouble. Don't attack the Celestial Dragons, you know. I just want to save Cammy. Just want to help. And then Luffy gets up and punches the shit out of Carlos. I'm surprised Carlos didn't break his damn neck how hard Luffy punched him. He probably punched him harder than he's punched anybody that we've seen in the series in his base form. This shot is amazing. Him getting punched in the freaking face. After Luffy punches at the end of that chapter, we get to 503. We see the aftermath of our piece of shit Carlos getting punched in the face. Kid and Law are loving this. They're just like, so this is Straw Hat Luffy, and this is their gang. Even Zoro's like, wow, you son of a bitch, Luffy. Because you beat him up first, I didn't get a chance to cut him up. Zoro was going to slice this dude in half if he got the opportunity to. Zoro met Carlos earlier. He hates the guy. He ain't afraid of the admirals. None of these people are afraid. Well, Zoro and Luffy and Sanji really aren't afraid of nobody. And they aren't messing around. So the rest of the crew jump in, beat the shit out of the rest of the guards that are in the building. Kicking ass, taking names. Another celestial dragon tries to threaten Cammy's life. There's a point where Law is talking to Luffy, and there's like a bear, there's like a bear on Law's crew, and it's really funny because Luffy's like, "What's up with the bear?" And then they keep talking. He's like, "Is the bear a pirate? What's going on?" And I'm curious as well what's up with the bear, Law's little bear friend. What's with that bear? I don't get it. The bear too, he says? That's funny. There's a lady celestial dragon threatening Cammy's life. She gets stopped by Rayleigh. I need to learn how to say his name. The old man who used to be on the King of the Pirates, Goldie Rogers' crew, shows up, uses Haki, and knocks her out. He frees Cammy from her explosive chains that are around her neck. He thanks Luffy and the gang for saving his friends, because he's a buddy with Hachan. And he wants to thank them by fixing their ship up, so they, covering their ship in that the bubble stuff, whatever it's called. I can't remember for some reason. Coat their ship so they can go to Fishman Island. Great, grand, wonderful, and he's going to do it for free. We also get to see Doflamingo again. This dude we've seen since way back, I believe, at the end of the Alabasta arc, maybe before that. This dude's here, and I guess he basically is part of this auction area. And they call him. He's like, "Hey, the Straw Hats are here and they're causing trouble." And he's like, "Well, I don't care. Auctioning human slaves has gotten boring. Suck it. You handle that problem." Leaves it to them. The Admiral is called into war. It's pretty nuts. The whole auction building gets surrounded by the Navy. Law, Luffy, and Kid go outside and accept their challenge. Basically by themselves, these three take on, I'm assuming, 100 Navy men with cannons and whatnot, and basically any firearms don't seem to work on them at all. From what I can tell, Kid can control metal. Augustus Kid, I think? I don't know. Captain Kid can manipulate metal, like magnetism. He's like Magneto. Please tell me I'm wrong in the comments. He basically has powers like Magneto, right? Am I right? The thing with Law, I don't think I've gotten a complete idea of what Law's ability is yet. It seems to me that he basically has Buggy's ability, Captain Buggy, the chop fruit ability, but he can do it to other people and not himself, because he takes somebody's head off and he starts taking other Navy men's body parts apart and then manipulating them together. And Kid, uses his magnetism to create a giant metal arm to beat the shit out of people. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Law's abilities, right? He can do the chop fruit, right? Basically, but to other people in a certain amount of range, which is cool. To me, it does seem kind of repetitive. I really did expect Law to have something unique to him. And I feel like there's more to learn about it. He seems like a really cool character. I'm really excited to see who voice acts who voice acts for Kid in the English dub, because I do watch the English dub and I do enjoy it. I think it's well done. I know some people don't like it, but I enjoy it. I think it's very well done. Christopher Sabat is an amazing Zoro. The dude that plays Trunks in Dragon Ball is an amazing Sanji. I think there's a lot of things to love in this English dub, and I'm really enjoying it. But honestly, I'm enjoying reading this more than anything. I think that reading One Piece is the way to go. I really do enjoy watching the anime as I'm reading, but man, reading this is the way to experience One Piece. I gotta say. The bear, Bepo, I believe, part of Law's crew, shows up and starts kicking ass and taking name. This bear, is he a bear? This is my guess. Bepo is a bear who ate a devil fruit, kind of like our boy Chopper. And he's like a anthropomorphic type thing, or he's a person who ate a bear fruit, but he can't control the transformation because he doesn't go into a human form in any way, shape, or form. Or, I don't know. Either way, from that point on, Law goes and frees one of the Celestial Dragon's slaves, Captain Jean Bart, and says, "You want to work under me and be freed from your slavery?" And he says, "I would gladly work under you in gratitude for freeing me from the Celestial Dragons. It's been a while since I've been called by my name." Jean Bart, this dude looks tough, and I love the idea that he joined Law's crew right in front of our eyes. And I think that maybe Law's crew is full of people like this, that he freed, possibly, or saved from other situations. It's very possible. Law is very interesting. I'm very interested in this guy. Same with Kid. I think I know little to nothing about Kid. He seems kind of one note, at least in this arc. Very angry. And Law seems a little laid back, chilling, kind of like I'm gonna 420 chilling. I'm just having a good time, kind of hippy dippy. Let's go, guys. I don't know yet. I'm excited to learn more about these two, and I know there's even more pirates on this island that don't get enough time to shine, who escape the island once they realize the war is the admiral's coming. But I know that we're going to learn more down the line about them. Bartholomew, one of my favorite warlords, at least after the Thriller Bark arc, shows up. He shows up, stops Kid in his tracks, who's on his way out, and I don't even think we even get to see what happens in that fight. Chapter 506. Also, during all of this, there's a cover story still going on with CP9. CP9 is all recovered from their fight with the Straw Hats. They're still hiding from the government as well, because I think they're being hunted as well for some reason, even though they are great assets to them. The CP9 is hiding. They're helping out this small town who helped heal them up and whatnot. But they end up beating the shit out of some pirates in some of the pictures, brutally, brutal justice. Rayleigh is around. Let's see here. There is a point where even Law sees... Law and Kid get stopped by one of the Bartholomews on the island, and I don't believe they show what happens in that fight. Luffy and the gang escape. They get to hang out with Rayleigh. They get to learn a few interesting things from him. I'm Silver's Rayleigh. Nice to meet you. The first mate. First mate, that's insane. And a lot of them are thinking, "Oh, I remembered you. You are one of the most notorious members of Goldie Rogers' crew. One of the most famous." Brooke says, I think there was a rookie by the name Gold Roger. I can't remember because Brooke is so old and, decrepit and undead and has been around for so long. It's pretty interesting that he even made that comment. I mean, Gold Roger was executed 22 years ago, but they didn't do that to his first mate, which is insane. We didn't get captured. Roger turned himself in, people. I was wondering about that. I was like, if Goldie Roger is this powerful, at least that's what they keep making it seem like, how did he get captured? No, he turned himself in. He had some type of terminal illness. He actually, I believe, had the illness when he was conquering the Grand Line. And so he conquered the Grand Line, started the legend of the King of the Pirates, got captured, and then basically started the new pirate era. It's insane. It's pretty insane. They even get to talk about Crocus, because the doctor they met way back with what's his damn name? The damn whale. The damn whale. We just did a whole arc about the whale. That guy way back at the beginning of the Grand Line. They talk about him being the medic for a few years for Goldie Roger, the ship doctor, which is really interesting that we met him so long ago. They talk a little bit about the new world and what to expect going forward. He even has a few things where he talks about how they know so much about the new world and about these poneglyphs and whatnot, and about the 100-year missing timeline that Nico Robin's trying to figure out, and even Nico Robin's like, well, tell me about it, and he's like, do you really want to know? And then she's basically like, no, I don't want to know, actually, because I want to find out for myself. And even Luffy stops Usopp from asking more about it because he doesn't want to know. He wants to go on this adventure. He wants to be a pirate. He doesn't want to know these things. They find out that Buggy used to be a part of the Goldie Roger crew as a child, along with Shanks and so much more. They give a lot of information here. There is a very interesting part that Rayleigh says. I just wish I could find it here. Okay, Rayleigh says, first Nico Robin says, do you know what happened to the world in the blank 100 years? That started 900 years ago. Rayleigh says, yes, we know everything. We learned about everything that occurred. But don't get ahead of yourself. Take it one step at a time as you travel on your ship. It seems that we and those at O'Hara were too hasty. What do they mean by that? What do they mean by too hasty? I don't get that. Even if I told you everything in history right now, there is nothing you could do about it. The answer you will arrive at may differ from ours, but even after you see the world in its entirety, at your own pace. But if you still want to know, I will tell you everything that happened in this world. And she says, no, I'll pass. Usopp asks to see it. Of course, he gets stopped, like I mentioned. Crazy shit, people. I want to understand what he meant by too hasty. Like, what do you mean? I don't get it. There's so much foreshadowing and whatnot going on here. Kizaru shows up. Navy Admiral. This dude is insane. He seems like an older member of the crew. He's got a striped suit on. This dude seems like a boss. Kizaru. He kicks ass, takes names. I believe he has the power of the light fruit. Or something like that. He's able to move at the speed of light. He's insane in the membrane. Kicking ass, taking names, taking on a lot of pirates. There's this one guy, I'm trying to remember his name. He's got like little mini versions of himself inside of him. which is insane. And he can like summon little pirate cavalry out of his body. Capone Gang Barrage. What devil fruit power does he have? He's pretty crazy. There's a dude from Sky Island on here that's a pirate who's got wings. Who's pretty nuts. It was really hard to understand. They were throwing a lot of different devil fruit abilities at you. There's a dude that can predict things. He kept predicting that he's not going to die today. Well, I got a clue for you, buddy. Not a lot of people die here in One Piece. Either way, Kizaru kicks all their asses. There's this dude with these really long arms and these teeth that look like piano keys, and he's able to like play those piano keys. It's crazy. Eventually, Bartholomew, a version of him, a copy of him is what I got. A cyborg robot copy of him, an android version of him shows up and starts beating the shit out of the Straw Hats. And together, including with Luffy, they don't stand a chance. Zoro is still hurt, by the way. Zoro can't barely use 100% of his power, maybe occasionally. Sanji's one of the only few people on the crew that realize Zoro is hurting. He's doing his best to keep up. He doesn't want to be held back. Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy at full strength, including everybody else on the crew, teaming up on this cyborg. It took absolutely everything they had to keep up with Bartholomew. Drake goes head to head with Kizaru and turns into a fucking raptor or a T-Rex. I could not tell. Bites the head of one of the other Bartholomew cyborgs in a different part of town. The dude that can predict things turns into like a weird looking demon scarecrow thing, but still loses to Kizaru. Oh my god. Shit got crazy fast. This fight was one of my favorite fights in the entire series. This group fight against Bartholomew was so much fun to watch. Seeing Kizaru get blown up by the music long-armed guy and then reassemble himself using his light fruit abilities. Came in, just kept whipping ass. I'm telling you, they took out so many pirates. I don't know who's going to prison. Either way, Bartholomew's cyborg is barely taken down by the Straw Hats. It takes literally everything they have to beat this cyborg. Everything. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, exhausted. Luffy's out, turned into a child. They got nothing left, and just when they think it's over, this other character named Sentomaru shows up, science team captain of Dr. Vegapunk's bodyguard of the Navy headquarters, with a giant axe. And is here to kick ass and take names as well. And I believe brings another Bartholomew cyborg with him. Starts beating the shit out of the already beaten up Straw Hats. They stand no chance here. I'm trying to see how they can survive this. I really, at this point, knowing that there's only a couple chapters left in this arc, wondering, is this going to bleed into the next arc? I was telling myself, like, there's no way they're going to be able to finish this fight in time, and it would feel like such an asshole if they were able to win this fight, because then Kizaru shows up and threatens to kill a passed out Zoro, because there is a point where Zoro and Usopp are trying to run away from Kizaru, or run away from Bartholomew and whatnot, and Zoro's like, let me go, let me be a distraction. Zoro's willing to sacrifice himself so that the Straw Hat crew can get away. But luckily for him, Rayleigh shows up and uses some kind of crazy kick to deflect Kizaru. He's able to touch Kizaru, who's made of light, somehow, and he's a badass, and they are able to go head to head in a really cool little sparring fight. Basically, the crew gets split up into pairs of like 2 and 3. They don't know what to do. Their only plan is to run and then meet back up at the ship when it's ready to go. But if Rayleigh's here fighting, then who is going to coat the ship properly so they can go to Fishman Island, which takes a while? I forgot to mention that the crew has to survive like 3 days or something on this island before they can leave. And right now they're surrounded by cyborgs and admirals and the Vegapunk bodyguard. Shit got crazy. I really thought, shit, somebody could die here. I know Zoro ain't going down, but he sure looks half dead. Sanji's trying to assist as best he can. He's trying to do what he can since Zoro's out. Zoro is Luffy's right-hand man, but he can't compete right now. Eventually, even Chopper starts to lose it, and he goes and eats 3 Rumble Balls, immediately turns into Monster Point Chopper, starts to go hand to hand with the Vegapunk person. The real Bartholomew shows up. Like I said, I really like Bartholomew. He's very mysterious. I don't know what he wants. I don't really understand his power, the paw fruit thing. And is he a cyborg as well? But he's the original? I don't understand that part either, because he seems like he's got robotic enhancements as well, as shown in the Thriller Bark arc. Bartholomew proceeds to send the entire Straw Hat crew into different, I believe, teleports them places, is what I'm getting from this. He did the same thing to somebody back at Thriller Bark arc. He touches them all with his pop fruit abilities. He asks them where they'd want to go. One by one, members of the Straw Hats are being taken away. There's a point where Sanji's like, right in front of my eyes, members of my crew, what am I doing sitting here? I need to do something, and Sanji gets taken away. Sanji, Usopp, nobody's left. The only person who ends up left is Luffy, and even he's like, I couldn't save them. I couldn't save any of them, and he's crying. He doesn't know what to do. Luffy gets poofed away as well, I think. No, I think Luffy stays. I have to go back and look. But either way, yes, Luffy gets sent away by Bartholomew as well. So the whole crew is gone. I'm not sure if they got scattered across this island. I doubt it. I think the Vegapunk person mentions that he can launch people away, but it seems like they're teleported away. Either way, it's wild. This second half of this arc is one of my favorite parts of the entire series. And just because it's so mysterious, there's so much information that we get, but then at the same time, we get so many more questions. This series is so good, people. One Piece is so good. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm a lifetime Dragon Ball fan, and I've been a fan of Naruto since my early teens, and they are 2 of my top favorite anime mangas of all time. And I, like many others, like to rank these things. What are my favorite anime? What are my favorite mangas? And quickly, One Piece is moving its way up to the tippity top of my favorite anime / mangas of all time. Favorite stories. This is so good. And it just keeps getting better. There was a point when I first started this where I thought, okay, this series is so long. There has to be a drop-off point. There has to be a part where it starts to dip. And to be honest, there really isn't. The only time that people warned me was during the Davy back part. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that short arc where they dealt with that comedic crew of foxy pirates. I enjoyed it. There hasn't really been a lull in One Piece at all. I've enjoyed every second. And just when I thought I wasn't going to like a character like Frankie, like Brooke, these two new members of the Straw Hat crew, I thought, I'm not going to like them. They're not going to fit the crew dynamic. A cyborg and a skeleton man. What are we doing here? Is this even pirates anymore? No, I love them. And I couldn't imagine this crew without them. The crew is perfect. And now they've all been separated again, at least from what I can tell. I highly doubt they've all been sent to the same place. I haven't read ahead. I refuse to read ahead until I do these reviews. And I'm very excited to see what happens next. I looked it up. There's some kind of Amazon Lily arc coming up next. Are we going to get my theories in my head here, since we are halfway through here, pretty much exactly halfway through the series right now. Chapter 514 is my next chapter to read. The Amazon Lily arc looks pretty interesting. I see a bunch of Amazon looking ladies and Luffy. So my guess is it's going to be an arc mostly about Luffy trying to find his crew again, maybe, and he's on an island by himself called Amazon Lily, because every arc seems to be named after what island they end up at. I have a few guesses. One, they're all going to end up back together within this next arc and recess their plan to go into the New World. Two, some of them are going to get captured and they're going to have to be rescued. Three, we're going to get multiple small 13 to 20 chapter arcs involving individual members of the Straw Hats on different islands trying to find each other or slowly reuniting or finding like one member of the crew or learning a new technique so that when they get back together, they're stronger than they ever were before, and they might actually stand a chance against somebody like the Bartholomew cyborgs or that Vegapunk bodyguard. But I can't imagine that they would ever stand a chance against the Kizaru guy. He's made of light. How do you deal with these admirals? How do you deal with these admirals? Please don't ruin it in the comments. I am very interested to find out how you fight these admirals. What the hell is hockey? When are we going to learn more about that? I thought we were going to learn all about it this damn arc, and yet we just have more questions. Just when you think you know all the answers, they change the question. Shit's getting crazy. I'm Mr. Morfetto. Please comment down below. Please tell your friends about the Mr. Morfetto YouTube page. Please subscribe. Please share. I got a question for you guys, actually. I've been thinking about trying to build a bigger audience. I'm almost 300 subscribers. And I was thinking maybe I should rebrand from the Mr. Morfetto page to something else. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about names, but I really do like my Mr. Morfetto name. But I really want to expand my audience. I love all of my One Piece fans. You guys are amazing. I also want to start doing some more reviews on individual characters that I've already met. Maybe more villains that have passed us, like the Arlong crew, and whatnot, Crocodile, all them, Buggy and the crew. But I'm worried that I'm going to learn more about them, and I'm going to have to do the damn video again. I don't know. I'm Mr. Morfetto. I will talk to you later.